You might not hear their worries out loud, but trust me, some of your students are carrying the weight of fear from home. When parents are scared, kids feel it too. Maybe they're shutting down, acting out, or not just being themselves. In this episode, we're talking about how to create a classroom that feels safe, steady, and supportive, no matter what's happening outside of school. Because right now, more than ever, they need to know that they're seen, they're valued, and they belong. Welcome to the Society's Child podcast, where we have real conversations about being a trauma-responsive educator in the midst of a significant mental health crisis. Hi, I'm Trish Senzak, a former educator, compassion advocate, and Jesus lover, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Are you feeling confuzzled about your students' behavior and needs? You're not alone. If trauma-informed strategies leave you wondering, what's next? Don't worry. My friend, I've been there too. As a foster mom and a child of complex trauma mixed with my experience as a teacher, it's led me to finding a compassionate, whole child approach that's evidence-based, practical, and transformational, and I'm so eager to share it with you. Whether you want to connect with your students on a deeper level, create a trauma-sensitive environment, or you just need a little bit of encouragement or support, you're in the right place. So grab a drink, a pen, or your earbuds, and let's work together to create a safe and student-attuned trauma-responsive school culture. Society's children need you, so let's get started. Have you noticed some of your students withdrawing or acting out, simply carrying a weight that they can't name? Right now, my friends, I can tell you in this political climate, there are things going on that are bothering our children. And if you live in an area where there is a certain population of immigrants, chances are the kids in your classroom are feeling the weight of the political climate. I can tell you from personal experience with some of the foster children that we've had, the conversations that are happening around these children are affecting them. It is dysregulating them. And with so much fear and uncertainty in their homes, you can create a place where they can feel seen, safe, soothed, supported, no matter what's happening outside. So I want to talk about 5 things that you can think about when dealing with these situations in the classroom without really even addressing it. Number 1, it's super important to understand the fear that these children of these immigrants are carrying into our classrooms. Many immigrant parents are living in fear right now due to the political uncertainty, the policy changes, or the community discussions, whatever's going on in the news and the media. It is huge, and these kids and families are feeling it. Kids absorb that fear, whether they understand it or not. It's happening to them. So some of the signs that you can look for are the typical signs of trauma. Are they withdrawing? Are they acting is there a sense of hypervigilance to things going on? Are they watching the door? Is there an aggression or acting out because of the uncertainty of what's happening? Are there emotional outbursts? Are they angry? Maybe they have frequent stomach aches or they're wanting to go to the clinic a lot. Do they seem like they're excessively worrying about something or carrying responsibilities? Or are they trying to wrap things up in the classroom? Or are they simply not coming to class? Whatever the situation is, I want to encourage you to create a safe space in your classroom and in your environment. Give them a place where they can forget these fears. Give them an escape. So make your classroom fun. Make it a temporary refuge where they don't even have to think about what's going on because, my goodness, they're probably living, eating, and breathing this constantly at home. So avoid bringing up the political topics or questions about their family status. Build in moments of that creativity and laughter so that they're not reminded of this every single moment. And my friends, please love them despite their upbringing. It is not this child's fault for what their parents did. They're not responsible for their parent choices, their legal status, or the decisions that were made in and around them. Please do them a favor and show consistency for everybody, unconditional care. It's a simple thing to say, hey, I'm glad you're here today. It could go a long way in making that kid feel like they're included and seen and understood. Trust me, the meaning and innuendo of what you're saying is going to be felt and through the central nervous system more than you think that those words will. The third thing I want to encourage you to do is, if you can, give them an outlet to process. This doesn't mean you're trying to get them to talk about it. Many of the kids won't want to, but some will need to express. They'll need to express their feelings, get it out, do something, while others will shut down. They will need to regulate. They might even need to try to figure out how to self-regulate. But no matter what the kid chooses to do as a result of this, their response is valid. So give them creative processing options. Let them journal, get some music going and do some movement, create some fidget-friendly spaces where they could go over there and be fidgety or disconnected for a little while. Maybe you can even create little places, anonymous worry boxes, where they can just brain dump and put things in the box and not even have to worry about it. Whatever you're doing, give them these outlets and then allow for shutdown. If they need to be quiet, they need to be disconnected, let them. If they need to go get regulated, let them. If they go quiet, resist the urge to make them talk. Provide the gentle support, something that says, hey, I see you're having a tough time today. You don't have to say anything, but I'm here if you need me. That's that little compassionate moment that just lets them know I'm with you in this. Hey, just a quick pause, because I don't want you doing this work alone. If you're listening to this and thinking, yes, this is so hard, or yes, I need encouragement to keep going, or yes, I need people who get it, I want to invite you to join my Facebook group. It's called Christian Educator Connection. This is a space where we talk about what it really takes to work with these kids, the ones who push us, stretch us, and need us the most. It's a place for encouragement, strategies, prayer, and support from other educators walking the exact same road. So if you've ever felt alone in this work, don't be. Come join us. Let's keep showing up, leaning on Christ, and lifting each other up. I'll see you over in the group, my friends. Speaking of regulating and self-regulating, this is the fourth thing, and I think it's super important that we really pay attention to this, because this is where it starts. It starts with the central nervous system. This fear that they're living in, it activates the fight, flight, freeze, fawn response. Very normal. That means the internal central nervous system is up. It's difficult for them to study. It's difficult for them to think. It's difficult for them to do normal life things. As they're in this process of being dysregulated, where they are showing up fidgety, or they're acting out, or they're getting angry, or having outbursts, whatever they're doing, most likely they're going to have a difficulty following directions. So what I encourage you to do is help them to find ways to regulate. So in your classroom, make sure that your classroom routines are predictable and structured. It helps them feel secure, because if there's chaos in your classroom, that adds to their already chaotic central nervous system dysregulation. Give them grounding exercises. More importantly, you can teach them lingo. You can teach them vocabulary that they might need to know, that these will be lifelong tools, because this won't be the last time that their nervous system is dysregulated. So if you can give them grounding exercises like breathing or stretching or sensory techniques or sensory breaks, whatever they need in these moments, if you could give them that, that would be a sign that there's a warm, affirming adult who is present. And if you have that steady, calm voice, that adds to it as well. It says, hey, I'm here for you, and I see you, and this is a calm space. And then lastly, this one I think is super important as we're thinking about the kids who are struggling. If they are acting out, if their behavior is off the charts, if you do need to have a family conversation, I want to encourage you that many of the parents of these kids, they are already overwhelmed. So I want to encourage you to avoid formal, intimidating communication. Use neutral language when you're talking to them. Try to stay on a neutral, calm side, even with the parents. Instead of saying, hey, we need to discuss your child's behavior, you can say something like, hey, I'd like to check in on how things are going for little Johnny or little Susie, and see how we can support you at this time. That basically says, I'm checking in and how we can support you, and it invites conversation. But I can tell you from experience, most of the parents will not talk about what's going on. They're just going to yes you, and they're going to agree with what you're saying and most likely not even have an answer for you at this time because they know the kid is struggling, the family is struggling. If you suspect a child is struggling due to this family stress or you figure that there's something else going on and you're able to help, gently offer the resources. Remember, we're in a political climate right now where this is looked down upon. So you have to be very careful, but having a school counselor available, having a food assistance program if they ever need it, whatever kind of resources are available on an okay basis to add, do what you can and what your school allows you to do and what's within the guidelines to support these kids however you can and support the families however you can. Most importantly, as you think about the fact that these kids might not be showing their worries out loud, please know that they're carrying the weight of the world from home. The fear from home is definitely, when the parents are scared, the kids are scared. And the kids are feeling it too. And they're shutting down, they're acting out. So I want to encourage you this week for no matter what is happening, to know that your presence is more powerful than anything that you can even do or know for these kids. Just being there, it won't change what's happening at home. You can't fix it, but in those moments, you can give them peace in your classroom. Give them that escape. So I encourage you, choose one of these strategies this week. You don't have to do them all. We can't always implement them all. But even if I didn't mention a strategy, if your brain went on to something that you think you can do that's in your style and in your wheelhouse, please work on that. Whether it's offering the journals, coming up with your own idea, shifting your language in some way, or just simply making space for regulation so that they can settle themselves down, it would be a gift in this moment. And it would be something that would truly help these kids have a lifelong impression and have something and know that they are seen, they're safe, they're soothed, and they're settled in your presence. I hope you found something helpful today. We'll see you on the next episode, my friends. Hey, amazing educators. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love for you to hit subscribe and leave a review. Even better, share this episode with a colleague. And hey, I'd love to connect with you on social media. You can even join my Facebook group for some extra support and a dash of inspiration. I've left all the links in the show notes. Until next time, my friend, remember, you're not alone on this journey. You've got this. Keep making a difference and stay teach-tastic.